I already paid for it.
Give it to someone else, dude. I don't want you to pay it for me.
Well, I already paid for it.
And give it to someone else.
Who wants Discord Nitro?
I'll take it.
Who wants Discord Nitro?
It's $5.
That's
$5
half
is
a
like
that's half a leopard print shirt.
We're gonna measure everything by leopard print shirt now.
Yep, that's 10 leopard print shirts right there.
Yeah, man.
I can't see Roddy or Golf, so I'm gonna leave and come back.
I see them.
Can you see me now?
Okay, I can see now.
Alrighty. Roll call. Golf? You good?
hello.
Okay, Rora?
No.
Roy? Joe? Amir?
Amir can't just do the
Hit the nut button.
Alright. Hit the nut button, do it.
That's your roll call.
Let's go. Let's go on demand.
Lara, you good?
Laura!
Lara!
I said I'm good.
Okay.
Good and golf.
Oh,
Oh,
God. It's okay, Rora. Channel that rage.
I'm ready.
All right, let us go ahead and hop into today's game of Chronicles of Lorei'an. Last time, the party Nase Ambar had ventured down south from the Ryfield capital into the borders between Ryfield and Reuben Ridge, having crossed wilderness and a massive wooden bridge that is the precipice between the nation of Ryfield and the Reuben Ridge Sultanate. You took your first steps into the hot arid plains of the Azuran fields. After about 2 more days of travel, you had finally crest hills and mountains to finally arrive at a wide stretch of blue water. The ocean, the Azuran coast, sparkling blue, shining bright. For most of you, half of you actually, being the first experience with the sea ever. And so allowing yourselves to relax in this moment's time and take in the sights and smells and sounds of the ocean, you spent a day just simply enjoying yourselves. Cannonballs were invented, caves were explored, and a whole lot of dialogue.
Soup was to be had.
What?
Soup was to be had.
Soups?
No,
Sorry.
absolutely not a part of
That's-
it. That was a joke.
My ears perked up and I was like, soup? Soup? Anyway.
What the fuck did I get to do that? Did I get to be super
Dude, it happens, man. These things just happen. Anyway, you settle down for the night at the shores of the Azuran coast, and amidst a lit campfire and a full moon you sat. Conversations were had. Dialogues were shared between people, surmounting to stories of life and death and falling and fears and emotions beyond that. And during second watch, around midnight, the moon hung high above the sky. Full, bright, shining. Nesorne and Nepenthe, you both sat at the campfire staring up at the moon, discussing fears and worries and divinity. And it was then that a calm silence had washed over the camp. And the moon seemed to almost be outlined with a reddish black color. and had grown larger and larger in the night sky, as if moving towards you. Waking up the rest of the party. What is that? What is that? Waking up the rest of the party, you now take notice of a massive white creature with a red eye in the center. Mass of tendrils flurrying about its body, and these 3 smaller faces with eyes orbiting it like planets around the sun. And that is where we left off. As Nepenthe dug deep into her rage, a mass of shadows exploded, lighting her body up, eyes glowing red, and spells casted upon her to help boost her as she slams her axe down onto the sands and yells at the monster's face. And this is where combat starts. Let me just get some battle music on. And we can hop right in there onto Nepenthe's turn.
Sorry, right before we jump in this, how is it working if Xavier and I are attacking at the same time?
We decided that if you got the same
I'm using
initiative,
haste
yeah.
on this round. I'm casting haste right now.
Okay,
So
so
this round I won't be able to attack.
haze goes on to
But
you.
yeah, I
Nepenthe.
assume it's just tag teaming.
Yeah.
So Xavier is stumbling out of bed and he reaches for Dawn, and then he he does a thing where he kicks his leg out from under him into a spin to get himself up off of his feet. And as he's doing that, he spins Dawn in a motion where static electricity begins to build at one end of the blade. And he literally just flings a lightning bolt at Nepenthe.
Okay.
And when it hits her, it just hits her squarely in the chest. And from that, it booms out and resonates out, and kind of her body is basically static and kind of itching with electricity.
So, you watch as Xavier swings out of bed, casts this bolt of lightning that goes directly into your chest. You feel a jolt of energy course through your body in a pen as your muscles pulsate, and you exhale a breath of air that comes out as this black smoke. Mind filled with rage, focused on the enemy in front of you. What do you do?
I'm swinging.
Okay, move up to it, and you can swing.
By the way, what elevation is that? Is that bit of rock, and how high is the thing above it? Just for my reference.
The Death Kiss, I'll just say at this point, is floating about we'll say about 5 feet off from the rocky cliff surface. Not the just the general rocky area, which is elevated about 5 feet up. So it's not like a massively tall rock or anything. It's just positioned atop this rock that is slightly elevated upwards, and it itself is also floating about 5 feet in the air. Nepenthe, 16, 14, and 12.
Very rude.
1 hit.
Very rude.
6 damage.
6 points of damage to Death Kiss. Got it. And is it that this
Plus
point that
2
you
for rage.
plus 2 to rage? At this point that you rush up and swing Giant Slayer down at this massive floating eyeball, you strike onto its leathery white, kind of almost very pale, deathly skin. As you do, the eye looks towards your direction, and a bit of lightning comes streaking out of where you had struck it into the axe and strikes your arm. You take, from striking it, 9 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
Is that halved because she's raging?
I don't believe so. Lightning is
No.
not half.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is that your turn, Nepenthe?
Yeah, we're off to a
Okay.
great start.
Good start. It is going to have the gazers that are floating around it go first, and so one that is immediately orbiting around it immediately fixes its gaze upon you, Nepenthe. And I'm going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Ooh. Okay.
That's a failure. Immediately as
Hold
its
on, hold on,
eye...
wait.
Yeah?
Wait, is this charmed, frightened, or possessed?
Yes, it's one of those.
The target cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed while under the protection from evil and good.
Bravo. So, as
You know.
as the eye streaks towards you, you start hearing these whispers in your head that tries to take hold of your mind and influence your actions and body. But as it does, Ness, from behind you, you sense this warmth and this wind and the sound of his yelling as he wakes everybody up from camp. And that feels and pushes you to the point where you shake your head and letting the rage flow through you. The effects of this particular gaze is negated. The second one here is going to move up to there. And I shoot towards, we'll say Ness. Ness, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Okay. Not my best.
5.
No, that's a 5.
So the eyes pulsate and shoots out a ray of fire. I have repurposed this. This is supposed to be Frost Ray, but in this instance, a ray of fire shoots out from its eyes, and like a beam of laser streaks and pierces through your shoulder. You take 12 points of fire damage. And this last one here is going to circle around this way.
Oh. That spell is gone, by the way.
Oof, okay, protection from evil and good fades.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and mark that off of you, Nepenthe. And so from here, Akil, I'm going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw. No, yes, the wisdom saving throw. That's a failure. You see that this eye floats up towards you, and then as its irises widen, you feel your mind suddenly go numb as this influence and pulse in your brain almost uncontrollably pulses as your brain goes incredibly numb and you find it very difficult to formulate thoughts. You are charmed, and while the duration that you are charmed, your speed is halved and you have advantage on attack rolls until the start of this particular creature's next turn.
Advantage or disadvantage?
Disadvantage on attack rolls, and his speed is halved. He
I
is
had
dazed.
advantage. I was like, duh.
That's the gazers. Now, onto the main body. Eyes focus right on you, Nepenthe, and you can almost hear telepathically in your head. You will never escape. Shadows will find you, no matter where you are. Tendrils slash towards you with a... Ooh, that first one is not going to hit. That is a 10. Second one. That's better. That's a 15. Does a 15 hit?
Nope.
Is that your normal AC, right?
Yes.
That is a 16.
Doesn't hit.
Oh, so, a flurry of axes go, one lands, and then in response, these flurries of tendrils goes lashing out, and you expertly dodge out the way of one. Use the shadow that is lurking from in front of you to almost displace yourself as it swipes, and you take your axe and then you deflect the other one off. That's its turn.
I think he goes, shadows will always find you. And I go, I'm aware how the sun works, motherfucker.
Haste, motherfucker! Exactly. Ronax, it is your turn.
Ness and I go at the same time, yeah?
Yes.
I bumped my... Yeah, okay. What do you want to do, my guy?
Mine. So I'm gonna run up to stand beside Nepenthe,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna recast that spell.
Protection for evil and good.
If it's good enough to do it once, good enough to do it twice.
You are once again under
and-
the effects of protection against evil and good.
And then with my bonus action, I'm going to use Hidden Step to turn invisible.
Okay, mark that down.
So I'll start at my next turn.
Alrighty. Now, be aware, you are invisible, but it has seen you move in front of it that last round, so it will still be able to make attacks at you at disadvantage, yeah?
Okay. Sure, why not?
Okay, you are invisible in front of it. Alrighty. Ronax.
So for me to command Vorax to do anything, including move, do I have to use an attack action, basically?
Does it specify on Artificer?
I believe it does.
Yeah. Go ahead and double check that for me real quick. It either uses one of your attacks or otherwise.
In the meantime, I'm going to move up here, and I am going to. I know that I'm going to do this with disadvantage, but I'm going to try and shoot this thing's eyeball.
Okay. Just go ahead and roll an attack. Straight attack. You don't need disadvantage. Because aiming for specific parts, we'll just go based off how good the roll is to see whether or not you land that attack and how good of a damage it deals.
Okay.
Yeah.
That misses, yeah.
14 does not hit.
And then Battlesmith.
Should be right under your Iron Defender. Take your time, no worries.
Sirius takes a turn. Move and use reactions on its own. Okay. I'm going to have him move up next to the pen. Hopefully this isn't really boxing her in. Actually, no. Yeah, right there. And then I'm going to use my other attack to. Let's see, what was that? I was here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot to use gun.
Yeah, I'll try and shoot at its eye again.
Okay. Make a weapon attack. 13 misses. So you run up, jump onto this rock that you now place yourself upon, and you take out Dragon's Breath, and first one goes a little bit wide. You take careful aim, and almost as if trying to aim for a specific part throws you off slightly as the eye keeps just darting back and forth, and you fire. This one hits and lands on its leathery skin, but does not seem to have any impact at all, as one of the tendrils almost seem to deflect it out of the air. And that's...
I'm going to cast Sanctuary on a pen.
Gotcha. One bonus action. Okay, until the spell ends, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or harmful spell must make Wisdom saving throw on a failed save. Target must choose a new target or lose the attack. Okay, gotcha. Stacking buffs. Let's go. Sanctuary.
Let's go.
That's okay.
This is getting kind of insane, guys.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Amabilis, your go.
You muted, by the way, Laura.
Thank you. I forgot. I was saying, I'm gonna move up to this one here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to kill it.
Is that in range for her to stab it, or does she need to shoot it?
It's in range. It's only floating a little bit in the air.
Okay.
Okay.
That hits. 5 slashing damage.
Hold up.
No sneak attack, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else? You have a bonus action left.
No, not for now.
Okay, so Amabilis rushes past and she pulls out her newly acquired rapier as she goes and stabs it through one of the eyes, the smaller eyes that extend out of its head. Slashes as it goes and looks at her now. Akil, your go. Your movement speed is halved and you have disadvantage on attacks.
Even though my speed is half, I still have like 30 feet of like speed, so
That's
Maybe
all of your movement, including walking and flying.
so I would like to fly up and then do an arm strike on the geyser. This gate.
Cool. Okay, so move yourself up and make weapon unarmed attacks for me.
I think disadvantage.
Yes.
And then I can hit twice, so I will hit again with my dagger.
Okay.
And then final attack, because I did an unarmed strike, I can do an unarmed strike again.
Yep. One more
Yeah.
unarmed strike as a bonus action.
Okay, wait. Oh yeah, I'm talking to myself right now. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead and make those attacks, bud.
In hindsight, I probably should have waited to use that ability because it won't actually do anything.
Oh. 12, 13, 13. 2 hits.
My God. Because my dagger hit, so can I have a sneak attack? Because Amabilis is nearby as well.
Right, you are a multi-class rogue. Yes, Amabilis is engaged with it. 6 plus 11. That does in fact kill the gazer. So just give me a quick
Oh, really?
description on
Oh
how
my
you want
God.
to slash this gazer out of the picture.
Oh my God. As I jump, I did some kind of somersault thing and then go rotate up and just like shrink the geyser in half.
Okay, so Amabilis runs up, stabs it once, and then Akil flies up to flank it. And as you do, you watch as these two just encircle this gazer, and Akil does a backflip somersault while flying and takes his dagger and slices it down in half. It dissipates. That one is
Good.
very cool. All right, Xavier and Nepenthe, both of you now. You are muted, Roy.
I'm gonna unmute myself first.
Okay.
I am gonna rush up and I think because they've been training together, Xavier is gonna call out to Nepenthe and to say,
Pick something
behind
cool
you.
up, thinking
It's just behind you. That's it. And then rush up, and if you're cool with it, Roya, she like hunches down for a second onto it, gets down on just slightly crouched, and he runs up and uses that to jump off her back over it
Yes.
in like
yes,
a twirling
100%.
motion.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
And then as he's upside down in the air over it, he's gonna take 2 attacks to try to land on the other side.
Go ahead. Would you like to make an acrobatics check with that? Actually, I'll call it. Make an acrobatics check for me. You shouldn't have any problems with this.
Right.
Yeah.
I have
Would you-
advantage on those because I'm blade singing.
Yes.
So 18.
18 succeeds. Just choose where you want to land within 5 feet of the creature, and then we'll make that attack in midair.
How do I do the thing where it's never mind. So he's gonna land right there, but as he's going, as he reaches up behind Nepenthe and Ness, I'm gonna cast Scholarly Inspiration as a bonus action at 2nd level. Which is gonna, and as I do so, both ends of the blade light up as he hops up off of Nepenthe's back, and in a spinning motion takes 2 attacks, and within both of their minds, the moment of the 3 of them over Ness's body, where they were all when Ness was first knocked out in that session 0, where they're all like hovered together, like it's a moment that's sad, but a moment where they first connected. And that image in bird sketching etches itself across their minds. And in midair, he's going to first cast Flame Blade. I need to actually hit first, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So the first attack has advantage because Impetus is going to spit on him. Second attack does not.
That's a natural one.
There.
So
The first one
yep.
is going to deal 14 damage to the creature and 8 damage to the one next to it as flames just
So cool.
encapsulate it.
Alrighty, so you did a pretty good job at describing that already, but a flash of motion just, and you feel a flood on your back, Nepenthe, as he swings, and images of your memories together fill both of your minds. Sword swings down with an arc of flame, scorches upon the back of this creature, and catches the gazer as well next to it. Xavier, lightning streaks out. Yeah? Lightning streaks out. Yeah?
Advantage on the second attack?
The second attack, no, sir.
Okay.
You take 7 points of lightning damage as you strike down upon it, and almost as if this kind of red electricity sparks up to dawn and then shocks your hand. There you go. Nepenthe.
Okay. So now I have flanking, correct?
Yes, you do.
Cool. I'm gonna go all out for fun. All 3 attacks I'm gonna do Great Weapon Master, with advantage, because of flanking.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope I did the math on this right. Are you serious?
Oh.
Well, you do suffer the negative from Great Weapon Master, but 14.
Yeah.
Actually, 14 does not hit.
Cool.
But you do have Scholarly Inspiration.
Yes, you do.
True.
So you can have D6 any of those.
Yes, because we have a semi-bard wizard now in our party. So you take a D8. That will bring the 14.
Oh, is it D8?
Is it
D6.
It's a D6. Cool, gotcha.
Okay.
But that will bring the 14 to a 16, which will end up hitting it.
Okay. 18 damage.
Gotcha.
Plus 2.
Oh
Right?
yeah, 20,
I know.
because I'm raging.
Oh! Ooh. So this one smashes right down into the top of its head. You boom! You almost hear the sound of whatever bone lines the inside of it almost cracking, and the eyes look very intensely at you. At the beginning of their turn, I'm gonna need the one at the very back. Ronax, make a perception check for me.
Bye.
Please. 5. Okay, you do not notice anything. With that, however, I need the entire party to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
As you now start hearing this cacophony of whispers in your mind. And nobody speaks Abyssal, correct?
Let me-
No, and Vorek. Please.
Yeah. Oof, my Discord is breaking up really badly. Hello? Hello, can all of you hear me?
yeah, I
We
think
hear you.
it was on Discord side.
Oh, buddy.
Okay, that was Discord, yeah? That wasn't me?
Yeah, that was Discord.
Okay, cool. Alright, Nepenthe, you are not affected by this because protection from good and evil. So you get to just bypass that. Akil, Amabilis, Xavier, and Vorax. And Ronax as well. So everybody... No, wait. No, Ronax rolled a 19.
I was about
Ronax
to
rolled
say,
a
I
19.
got a 19.
No, I'm sorry. I was looking at the perception check up front there. So Amabilis, Xavier, Akio.
No.
The three of you start hearing these sourceless whispers in a language you do not know in your head, and immediately your eyes go wide, and you have this like thumping in your brain. And you feel like your blood isn't quite coming up fully to reach your brain. And so your eyes go wide for a second and you look back and you see that blood starts streaking down their eyes. All of you are considered frightened until the start of your next turn. So, Akio,
Well, shit.
Oh no, why do I have to get to see every time?
let's use this. Amabilis
Could be worse. It could be till the end of your next turn.
and Vorax. And Akio, Amabilis, and Xavier, yes. Yes, okay, thank you for marking that down for me. Alrighty, that's from something sourceless that you do not know. The Gazers. Xavier, make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh,
Wow, there. That succeeds.
19, motherfucker.
noise.
So takes no effect. This one Gazer turns around and looks at you, and you feel almost a sensation that seems to throw your brain off, as in trying to mess with your mental capabilities, but you shake your head and close your eyes.
I wink at him.
Yeah. While frightened. And so this other Gazer is going to shoot a... Nepenthe, make a dexterity saving throw.
At advantage.
18 with his aura.
That succeeds. So from behind you, you almost sense this beam of fire streak by, and then you expertly dodge out of the way, and it strikes the ground. This Gazer is going to use all of its movement to float 30 feet up into the air. And this one is going to stay where it is. Yep. Alrighty. Now for the Death Kiss. Okay. One tentacle is going to go towards Xavier with advantage because he is frightened.
Come at me.
Plus That goes to a 23 to hit.
Shield.
Does that hit?
Shield. It doesn't.
Okay. So, flings towards you, you put up shield. The other one goes towards the pent. Two actually are going to go towards the pent because he cannot see Nest right now.
Sanctuary.
You're right.
I dealt damage, so it's gone.
Oh, okay. It's gone.
Okay. So, those two will be a total of 21 to hit and 25 to hit.
Did you roll both of those with disadvantage because of protection from evil and good?
You make a good point. So the first one, I rolled an 11 and an 18, so that is going to still be a 21 to hit on that first one. And the second one...
The 21 hits, sorry.
Okay, the second one is a 10. That's not gonna hit.
The first one, Vorax is gonna use his reaction to deflect that attack.
Oh!
Well, I'm not. I think that just gives disadvantage, right?
Let me.
Yeah, read up on that for me.
Yeah, that's all it
I have a thing.
It gives disadvantage, which she
Oh,
already
okay,
has.
Yeah,
okay.
I have a thing though. I have the other
Never
thing.
mind.
Interception. I'm going to reduce the damage.
Alrighty, so roll 1d10
You
for
guys-
me. And normally that would have worked, Amir, but it already
No,
had
yeah,
disadvantage.
It's already. I know.
Cool. 6. That reduces.
I just forgot that that's. What
Actually, that's 9
Plus
because
3.
it's plus proficiency. So
Yeah.
reduces the damage by 9.
Gotcha.
Roddy's like, guys, let me hurt this character.
No, you are doing a pretty good
I'm
job.
sitting here like, I can get hit, guys. That's okay. I'm doing alright.
17 minus 9. That's 8 points of piercing damage, halved to 4.
Subtracted to 6, so nothing. Ness just headbutts this thing out of the way.
Oh, and okay, here's the good part of this. You are automatically grappled by it.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So this tendril reaches down, and as it slaps down on the pant, almost the spiky bits impale you in the back and lift you off your feet. You are grappled.
Is she really grappled if it does 0 damage?
Oh no, it did not do 0 damage.
Did 4.
It did
She
4.
said it did 4 damage minus 6.
No, that 4 is with halved on rage and minus from
okay.
interception.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It
you
was
are
17.
Okay.
grappled by this creature as you are held in the air. Yeah.
No, it should be 0. You said, well, it depends whether you. It depends whether
No,
you
he did the math.
I did the math. It was 19 damage in total, minus 9, so that's 10. No, sorry, it was 19. It was 18 damage in total. Minus 9, that goes to 11. Halved from
Okay.
rage. Yeah.
Doesn't resistance apply before interception?
It's up to DM at this point. It's fine.
No, I took it as interception applying first because if you think about it in a battle sense, you have to be intercepting the blow before it lands. You get what I'm saying?
Honestly, that's a fair way of looking at it.
Yeah.
But
Guys,
Yeah.
I'm fine with 4
Because
damage.
if you were to if the hit were to land first, then the interception would wear
Actually,
off
I
from
ca-
it. Does that make sense?
I don't like that.
It's no big.
I won't lie.
It's fine. It's fine. Just keep going.
Yeah.
All right.
The vet can
I'm
take
in the
it.
air. I'm grappled. It's fine.
Yes, you are grappled. And I'm going to need you to make a Constitution savings roll for me. As part of its last attack is going to attempt to drain you.
Well,
That's a success.
I'd like to see him try.
No damage. Alrighty, that's the end of its turn. Ronax, you're up.
I'm.
Oh, actually,
going-
if you would, sorry, my bad. I am going to have this thing. You know what? No, that wouldn't be smart right now. There's like 4 things. Okay, go on with your turn. I'm so sorry.
You good?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, I am very offended, and you've hurt me personally.
I would like to deeply apologize.
I am wounded. So she is going to use her bonus action to reload, and
Okay.
then she's gonna fire. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep aiming for its eyeball.
Cool. Roll to hit with Dragon's Breath. 18 hits. Roll some damage. 12 points of damage. Okay, that actually gets it pretty good in the eye, actually. You take it, and then you, as the bullet goes, streaks past Nepen's hair. You do kind of like this, as it goes past your hair, kind of swings by in the momentum of the bullet, and it pierces through right into the eye. As it closes his eyes and blink and try and refocus, and reopens its eye, damaged, but not rendered completely unusable.
That's my turn.
Okay. Do you not have... Oh, wait. You had 2 attacks. 23 and 18. Actually, yeah, to both hits. 20 points. Okay. Sorry, forgot to take the first one. Alrighty. That is your turn. Ness, you are up.
So at the start of my turn, I stop being invisible, and the first thing that happens is a big upswing with the quarterstaff.
Okay.
And I think I'm flanking with Xavier, am I not?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
This is why I do my thing.
All right. Let's do it.
You have a D6 if you need it.
Why is my keyboard not working? Anyway.
You'll love to see it.
So the first roll is a 4. The second is 17 total.
17 total. 17 on the Death Kiss hits.
Yeah. So 9 bludgeoning damage and a first level Divine Smite,
Gotcha.
which I assume is 2d8 because it's not a fiend or an undead or anything.
It is an aberration.
I don't think I get extra dice for that.
Yeah, you don't.
So 9 radiant damage.
Cool. Alrighty.
And then second attack.
So that's a natural one. Automatic
A
miss.
1 and a 2.
Nope. Both of those
Okay.
miss.
What am I gonna do? Okay. I am going to use my bonus action to cast Sanctuary on myself.
All right. Okay. So. Gotcha.
And actually, that one of the little the beads of the rosary that now looks a little bit like a berry, like glows with bright light.
That's so good. Okay, that's your turn then. Amabilis, we are back to you.
Does she have to roll anything because she's frightened? Or does
You
that
are
go into-
frightened. So go ahead and repeat a wisdom saving throw for me.
Is that the start or end of the turn?
The start. 18. 18. Let me double check whether it's the start or the end of the turn.
I would assume it's the end, just because then it would give us disadvantage for a round. Would be my base assumption, but I don't know.
It is at the end of the turn. You are right. So,
Yeah.
we'll since you already rolled, we'll go ahead and save that for the end of the turn. However, your the actions committed towards that turn, you find yourself being unable to move towards the source of the noise, which seems to be coming from behind and to your right. So, on this turn, you have disadvantage on your attacks, and you are unable to move this way or this way.
Okay.
Yep.
I can still use my bonus action.
Okay.
I'm going to move here and I'm gonna attack with my favorite of
So-
buttons.
Okay.
So, Roddy, you said that this is a sourceless thing. What does that mean in terms of you can't move closer to it?
Frightened condition. You can't move closer towards a target. Is it the target
Yeah,
is
but
there?
you-
It's just
you said
that
the target was sourceless, so if we don't know where it is or what it is.
Allow me to change that. Then you are hearing sounds coming from behind your group.
Okay, cool. So the movement she made is perfectly fine.
Yes, yeah, the movement she made is fine. However, the attack with the rapier will be at.
Oh,
Um,
disadvantage.
Actually, no, you are not in line of sight. You are unable to see the creature, therefore it does not give you
Yeah.
disadvantage. So that straight 18 does hit and dealing 5 damage to the creature, no problem. And you get sneak attack because multiple people are engaged with it.
Oh, that's a.
Hell yeah, you do.
Oh.
And also, Laura, you do have that ability as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash so that one ship would dash to within.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately after you take dash action, you can enable one creature within 60 feet of you to use its reaction to move up to its speed. I'm just gonna dash to the other side.
Okay. And who are you imbuing with that ability to dash as well?
To Saber since he's the closest to me.
Okay. Xavier, you are able to move up to how many feet, Lara?
Up to 60 feet.
You are able to move up to 60
Oh,
feet.
My good God.
I don't need to move.
Wait, does it have to be like people surround me or could it be anyone?
I would
Anyone.
assume there is a range on that item.
It just says within 60 feet of you. So no, it's not that I can move 60 feet. It's someone within 60 feet
Ah.
who can use their reaction to move up to their own speed.
Aha.
So you could have a Keel move or a Ronak's move.
I'll
Or Roark's move, something like that.
I'll do bonus then. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Ronax, you can use your reaction right now to move up to your speed if you would like to. If not, that's fine.
You also did take the attack action, so you can give Nepenthe an attack or someone else an attack. Laura.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry, it's a confusing item. It's hard to be.
It takes a bit of
know
strategic
that thing is-
thinking.
Yeah, sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Oh, you're good. I'm just saying it gives you 3 options, and you did take the attack action.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You could give that to Nepenthe and let her go off some more.
Well, that would
Absolutely.
make sense.
Yeah,
But
your call, Mabilis.
that would be my bonus action though, right? If I make an attack action, then I can't move from where I was.
Well, so it says immediately after you take the attack action, which you did, you can let someone else use their reaction to make an attack. So it doesn't cost you anything. It just means Aurora gets to take another.
Yeah, it's an enabling item.
Oh, yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's your call who you want to give an attack to or who you want to give movement to. Either everything is fine, depending to you on that.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to, you could choose to not give it to anybody.
Yeah, at all. That's up to you as well.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Then I'll let me give it to. Let's see. I'll give it to Akil then, since an attack.
Okay. Q, you are able to make a ranged attack at that distance. Would you like to?
Of course, yes, of course.
Okay, cool.
I
So
would
go.
like to make a. Yeah.
Yeah?
If I have an extra attack, like get to attack twice.
Nope, this is one attack as a reaction, and so you now don't have a. Actually, your turn is right next to, right underneath her. So this is a very smart use of reaction. So you get your reaction right back afterwards after using this one.
Yep. So right now I don't have my longbow and my long sword on me, so I'm gonna use to throw a dagger.
Okay, throw the dagger.
Throw a dagger, and
That's a nat one. That's three.
Dagger,
That's
dagger,
3
dagger.
crit fails this game. So Mabilis goes rushing by, and with the power of the rapier, you almost feel this twitch in your body as she dashes forward and slashes with the rapier. You almost feel your arm also lift up and throw the dagger, but with this sudden sort of foreign forced movement, all of a sudden you're not too incredibly used to it, and so the dagger goes wide and lands into the water. Unfortunate. Bad luck.
Oh my
Next
god.
time, please tell me before you
Uh,
do that.
Amabilis, you'd see me beckoning to move closer if you still have any movement left.
Which I
What does that mean?
She's within 10 feet of you.
I have other stuff.
Okay.
So you
Wait,
could, you
what
still
is
have
that?
5 feet of movement left if you would like. Ah, there we go. That's you can
Oh.
choose to move down there as well too.
Yeah, okay, I'll go do that then.
Cool, gotcha. Alrighty. That'll be the end of your turn then.
Uh, I can attack.
You did. Or did you not?
Yeah, you did.
Well,
You did.
oh, okay. That will be the end of my turn. Sorry, I was confused.
No problem.
No,
you're still-
dude, you're good.
yeah,
honestly.
you're still getting used to it. And you're fine. You are no longer frightened at the end of your turn.
Okay. Yay.
All right, Akil, you are still considered frightened. You just can't move to your right or to behind.
This geyser is flying right now, so if I fly diagonally, it only takes let me check my math. 50 feet of movement speed.
Yep, I do not know how to calculate that, so I'll trust you on it.
I use the Pythagorean theorem, and this is
Yep,
30 feet.
I've gotten rid of all of that, my guy.
Personally, I would like to throw a dagger at this geyser again.
Cool.
So I throw dagger I can.
Alrighty, roll to hit.
16.
16 hits. You do not have disadvantage, so that is okay.
Okay. I do add sneak attack as well because there's a lot of
Isn't
people
he frightened?
nearby.
11 points. What? Yeah?
Isn't he frightened?
He is, but the creature that frightens him is
Oh,
not
yeah.
in line of sight, so there's no problem with that.
Oh yeah.
That is enough to take care of that second gazer.
And I would like to fly up towards the geyser and do one kick, like a rope kick in order.
Of course. So you fly up, dagger lands right in the center of the forehead, and you come in. And as that one drops to the floor, you fly up to this and make 13. 13. Actually,
What, does he still have disadvantage, or is it?
I
I
am
still have my
that with-
disadvantage on.
looking at that actually. So Akil, as you
Three nat ones.
That's so sad.
Akil, as you go to fly towards this gazer, your eyes actually catch a glimpse of something within the rocks behind, in front of you. And standing perched on top of it is this crow-like creature, about the size of the gazer, not too incredibly large, with these like 6 to 8 red eyes that are that is perched on top of this rock. And then immediately as you catch your eyes upon it, it kind of widens all 8 of its eyes towards your direction, and the sense of fear takes over, and you go make a low kick on that gazer, but then your eyes are caught onto this crow creature, and that causes you to miss.
Golf, why do you have disadvantage?
Frightened condition.
Oh.
Didn't that drop at the start of your turn?
Because I'm not sure where it is.
It does? No, he has to
going
repeat
off the end
that
of the
saving
turn.
throw at the end of his turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that attack ends up missing. However, repeat the wisdom saving throw for me.
With a +2 this time,
Yes.
because you're within 10 feet.
Okay.
So that's 25.
I got that 20.
Okay.
Through 3 nat ones, I should hope he crit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So in locking eyes with this creature, you kind of close your eyes and shake your head, and as you reopen it back up, the sense of fear dissipates from your body, and the frightened condition is no longer in effect.
Nut for the net,
Still
Sunny.
have my bonus action.
Yes, you do. But okay. Since we already called for the wisdom saving throw, I'll allow you to go back, but then this bonus action will still be made at a disadvantage,
Okay.
since this came before the saving throw at the end of your turn. A 13. 13 still hits.
Sorry, everybody.
No problem.
Yay. And then the attack. Oh, sorry about that.
No problem. 6.
6 slashing. I would say slashing because slashing is cool.
Okay. I kicked this monster, but it does slashing damage.
It actually
Yeah,
might,
claws.
because he has talons.
He has talons, yeah.
He has claws.
Alrighty. Xavier, back to you. And Nepenthe.
I'm gonna take your hat and squish it.
That's rude. I
In a good
am-
way.
Oh yeah, and I was.
Wait, let me hit first.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
forgot, guys. There's something up here as well. It's
Don't point it
it's,
out.
It's my
Frightened
time.
of it.
So I am being held up in the air by one of this thing's tentacles, right?
Yes, you can use your action to try and escape from it, otherwise all of your attacks are at a disadvantage.
Okay, well, what if
But
I teleported out of it?
fuck yeah.
That would do it. That's allowed, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna teleport out of it, but I'm gonna blip back on top of the monster. Like I'm gonna fall and then hit it
Okay.
for fun.
I'll allow it. So
Extra damage
Rob?
for extra damage for death from above.
oh my god. I will say since you have very good control of your teleport, I will not require an acrobatics check from this. However, make an attack roll for me.
Okay.
At advantage still because of
Yeah,
flanking and
I think
whatnot.
I'm just gonna run plain for the first
This
one.
is the ultimate form of flanking, really.
Mhm.
18.
Like 2 on both sides and 1 from the top. 18 hits.
That's 14 damage.
Woo! Plus 2 for rage.
Yeah. I'm gonna do. So I just like land on top of this thing. Like it's large enough that I can just land, right? Or
If
Yeah.
you wish to stay on top of it after the attack, it is when I will require from you an acrobatics check or athletics, your choice.
do I do the cool thing or the smart thing, gang?
Oh, girl, cool thing. Come on.
So if
Question?
if you had landed on it, made the attack, and then jumped off, that wouldn't have required anything. However, if you wish to stay on top of it, that will require a check.
Okay, I'm gonna do an athletics check to stay
Alright.
on top of it. 20.
You stay on
wait.
top.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not at a disadvantage. So the 2 tendrils that are coming off of its head,
Because-
you almost you grab hold of both of those, and you kind of like a kind of this weird piloting.
Space hopper.
Yeah, space hopper. You just stand on top, and then you like kind of use that to spin its face around as it's making very distressed noises without a mouth.
Well, you have 2 more attacks.
I do.
Yes.
I kind of imagine it because she has the hold of the axe. I imagine her like her feet just kind of digging into its flesh.
Oh yeah,
and, like,
yeah,
the
like,
axe like just digging deep into it.
yeah, yeah.
And she's just so sure-footed.
She is now Ratatouille.
I'm gonna do the second one, Great Weapon Master.
Okay.
21 to hit.
Ooh.
Hits.
22 damage.
Ugh. Oh, it's, ooh.
We'll do the third Great Weapon Master as well. 18 to hit.
18 hits.
25.
Holy shit.
And then an
Let's
additional
freaking go.
4 for rage on both.
Okay.
So
So
24 and 27.
she actually on top of it, she jams her axe down deep into its skull. So deep, in fact, that you see the eyes start to become very distant, and it almost rolls back in its head if it wasn't clinging on to the last bit of life that it had left in its body. It is extremely fucking bloodied. But it does now. Actually, it's Xavier's turn, is it not?
Well, so we have the same initiative. So I imagine she is like flying down, and Xavier's she's bisecting it from the top, and I'm bisecting it from the side.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier's gonna dig his flaming blade into the side and run kind of a circle around it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take 3 attacks actually.
Yep. I think I'm giving you advantage from flanking.
I would believe so. 1, 2, 3. The first one kind of aids.
Nope. Yes. Last one hits.
Okay. Then that is going to be 8 damage.
How would you like to do it?
Because it's happening at the same time, I imagine they look at each other from like across the field, like at each other, and like they nod. The pen dissipates from its grasp, and she like in one motion has the axe like perfectly lined up in the midpoint. And meanwhile, Xavier, if you're cool with me doing this, digs Dawn into it and just like using arcane force for flavor, digs Dawn into it, lets go, and just pushes it with static energy from his hands. And Dawn, without him touching it, Dawn basically like spinning contraption or whatever flies all the way around it into his hand behind him.
Okay, so here's what happens. Nepenthe, you jump on top of this creature, dig your axe down into its skull. You watch as its eyes go incredible. It starts to lose color and the pupils dilate as it the eyes lull back in its head. Xavier comes from behind, uses Dawn to make a large swinging motion, and then as you swing, you pierce through the sides into the middle, and the rest of you hear a loud clink as both of your blades meet and kind of intersect inside this creature. And with the rest of that, with the static energy, a large static bolt of blue lightning shocks the waves around it, and the next thing you see is just 2 slices, like a meatball cut in half, of Death Kiss flying off and landing on the floor. And its eye is in its last moment as this half of it lands in the sand, looks up towards the moon, kind of like in a almost desperate, sad way.
Right before it dies,
yeah.
I said, I found you.
Okay.
Of course, there's still enemies on the field. Like,
You should feel so bad about that pun right now.
Wait,
It's
what?
so
There's a
awesome.
said to me.
Yeah.
At the start,
I found you. It's an
I
I
found.
I understood it as she meant it.
Oh my
That was
god!
badass.
Whispering
God.
last week.
My damn brain.
You should feel bad for taking it as a pun.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Shame.
Yeah.
I live with a man that like everything that comes out of his mouth is a pun, and it's been like that for 10 years. It's ingrained at this point.
Yep.
All right.
That Death Kiss went down so much easier than I thought he would. Anyway.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
At the start of the enemy's turns, again, you hear this really loud fluttering of wings from behind all of you as flocks upon flocks of these raven-like creatures appear, perched upon these rocks. And per one of these, let's see here. I'm gonna make some rolls. Ronax 23 to hit. Hits, I assume.
Oh no,
Akil.
please don't die, man.
Akil 16 to hit. No? Okay.
No.
For the last one, it's a 16 plus 5. 21 to hit Nepenthe.
That'll do it.
Okay. These
They're
flock
all
of red-eyed crows scream out this very loud-pitched caw and cacophony of screams that assault your mind. Actually, one more, since there are 4 of them. This last one's going towards Ness, but it has to make a wisdom saving throw because Sanctuary. That's a 18. Does that succeed?
Yeah, it succeeds.
Okay, cool. Oh wow, that's a 9 to hit. Yes.
Nope.
Doesn't hit. Okay, so first of all, for Ronax, you take 11 points of psychic damage as your ears start to bleed from the screaming cacophony of these crows. These ravens. Didn't hit Akil. Didn't hit Ness. On Nepenthe, you take 12 points of psychic damage. And upon doing so, these crows are going to use their movement to fly 30 feet this way.
Question.
Yes?
Since it's technically my turn, can I try and fucking shoot at these things?
It's technically not your turn yet. It's the beginning of the enemy's turn, and the gazers still get to go before you do.
Oh, the gazers, that's right.
Yes. So I'll go ahead and get this. Alright, so these 2 gazers that are left alive. Akil, Nepenthe, dexterity saving throws.
Yes. Okay, I'm good at that. Please don't roll anything bad.
Us too.
10 fails. 13 fails.
plus
16.
18 and 10.
Okay, Akil succeeds. Nepenthe
I'm
with...
sorry about the second one, by the way.
Gotcha. Nepenthe, you fail. Akil succeeds. A beam of fire strikes out. Akil, you do this like spinning dodge out of the way. However, one strikes you right in the chest, Nepenthe, dealing a total of 16 points of fire damage. Actually, this one is going to singe your pouch and into your thigh.
Wait, hits my what?
Singe your the pouch that you are currently carrying, and also strikes at your right thigh as well.
Okay.
I imagine she's just like surrounded by the flesh of this thing, and she just takes it, and she's just like huffing.
Yeah. Ronax. So a swarm of ravens had just flown over your head and is starting to head eastwards towards the sea. Ronax, you're muted.
You're muted. So this one, how far up in the air is it?
We'll say about 20 feet.
Okay.
Actually, no, not that high at all. We'll say 10 at most. Because it was perched on a rock before and it had to... Yeah.
Actually, that's fine anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to run up to this stupid thing. And I'm going to take out Firebrand. And please let me know if this makes no sense for me to do this. I'm going to use Firebrand with a disarming shot to see if I can knock it out of the air without killing it.
I mean, I'll allow it. Makes sense. Makes sense. You are technically disarming it. technically. Yeah. Make go ahead.
Well, okay. The reason I'm saying disarming shot is because, so inherently dragons or firebrand already knocks back, and then with a disarming shot, so I figured it would make sense.
Yeah.
Do you?
Something.
If it's an option to knock it prone, that does the same thing.
Yeah. That would just innately be firebrand then, Ronax.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't need to spend a grit point for this.
Okay.
Ooh, 19 hits, roll damage. 16. And you say it without killing it, yeah?
Yeah.
Alrighty. It does have less than 16 health. So, why don't I go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for it to see, to contest against the knocked prone effect. If it fails, it will get knocked to the ground, still alive. That's a failure. So you watch as Ronax takes out Firebrand, and out of the sky, almost like she's going bird hunting, as this massive burst of pellets go flying in the air, impacts it on several points and pierces its wings. Its wings become like sheaths as it falls onto the floor in front of you.
I was feeling really useless this round. I'm gonna pick it up.
Okay. We'll get it. We'll get to that. Yeah.
How big is it?
Relatively big, about the size of a cat.
Oh. That's not okay. When you said relatively big, I was thinking like
for a raven, it's relatively big.
Okay, I'm going to pick this sucker up by the throat.
It watches all of the 8 eyes look in different directions and then back at you, and then it makes this really pain caw towards your direction.
Good.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Oh goodness, you are disgusting. Yes, and I'm gonna point its face away from me.
Okay, don't forget to subtract the damage that you took from the psychic attack.
Yes, thank you.
Gotcha.
Xavier, I have something for you. Oh. That's my turn.
Ness.
Okay, first thing I'm going to do is run over here so that Gazer is between me and Vorex. I assume that I can hit it with advantage.
Yes, flanking.
All right.
What is this dubstep? Hello?
Wub.
I did not put you on.
That's 12.
12 on one of these things just barely hits.
All right. So that is
Paladin smite.
7 bludgeoning damage and first level smite.
The 7 already does it.
All right. Okay. All right. It was hit already.
Aww.
All right. And then for an encore, Nepenthe, I like your idea. I'm going to get a good run up and leap off the rock, and then in midair, Misty Step as a bonus action.
Oh.
I assume I'm flanking with a kill.
Yes, you are.
Jesus.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, that hits. Yeah.
18 to hit.
Okay, let me mark this one off first.
And then that is 6 bludgeoning damage, and I'll hit that one with the first level smite.
Alrighty. Roll your smite. Yeah, that does it.
That's 13 radiant damage.
That does it. These things do not have a lot of health at all.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I fall 30 feet out of the air. try and land gracefully.
Make an acrobatics check.
Oh no.
Oof.
Oh,
Okay, so
that's
it-
about average.
yes, it is a d6 per 10 feet. You take
Fine.
12 points of bludgeoning damage. So here's what happens. Ness immediately does a spin around, leaps off a rock, and in front of you, Nepenthe, there is just a red splat against the cliffy the rocky cliffs as it goes, and then he also
I do
yeah.
maintain concentration on protection from evil and good.
Yes, you do. As that happens, you spin around, and what do your Misty Step look like?
Oof, that's a good question. I think I sort of I would say
Dissipate the
that
leaf.
yeah, exactly that. Yeah, it's like it's like a gust of leaves that sweeps past me, and then I'm not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Nepenthe, you're having to shield yourself back a bit from the gust of wind that suddenly emerges from in front of you as Ness appears 30 feet in the air. Akio, as you have your vision trained onto this gazer, your large 8-foot tall not cobalt, I was about to say cobalt, furball friend falls out of the air, and using the momentum on his way down, also another one goes splat against the sand. But then he sort of does this like like with wide arm swings and a heavy clunk as his armor sinks him into the sand. I'll say, I'm gonna be mean here. That was where Amabilis' sandcastle was.
Oh no!
Yes.
Silence.
Yes. Yeah, I love you.
You mon.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
We worked all day on that sandcastle.
So you feel as if something cushioned your blow. Yes, and you put things together. You put it together in your head, and you're like, oh wait, if the camp was there, then that means that right here is. And then you look at all the footsteps in the sand, and then you look, and there's this like small, right between where the both of your legs, kind of still standing up, is a. Like one of the towers on the outer walls. I did not mean for that to be sexual. Shut up.
Well, it is now.
It is now.
Yeah.
Now you pointed it out to this.
Oh my god.
Amabilis, it is your turn. Everything is dead around you except these ravens that are beginning to take flight out towards the sea.
Does that mean I get like okay. Then I'm going to use my bonus action to do steady aim.
Okay, steady aim.
And wait, getting a sneak attack and having an advantage on an attack is
Yes. Exactly.
so I'm gonna do steady aim as my bonus action. And I'm going to use my short bow.
Mm-hmm.
So is my roll working? Because I
Uh,
can't see.
Yes. Roll that again because you have
Yes.
advantage. And you'll take the higher of the two. Okay, we'll take the 13. The 8 points of damage is all the same. 8, and then roll sneak attack damage for me.
Can I restart my?
Sorry?
I need to restart my roll.
Okay. Alrighty. So tell you what, why don't I'll go ahead and roll 3d6 for you if you don't mind. If you get higher than a 2,
Oh
this
yes, of course.
yeah. A 13. Yep, that thing is dead. It is shot right out of the air by you.
Ooh. And
There we go. Akio.
You know what? I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash using the key point.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 120 feet of flight speed,
Yep.
and I go to do this.
Holy shit. Monks, man. Yep. Step of the wind, and then 120 feet of movement speed, and then you're gonna make 2 attacks on one of each, right?
God, what is with you and that one?
Oh my
today?
god!
God.
This is so
This
sad.
one in the unarmed strike,
Oh god.
and then
Go.
this one.
Golf just came to the session with a big bag of wands.
Really? Damn.
Jesus.
The second one hits though.
27,
Yep, roll damage.
and I'm gonna
this
do stunning strike as well.
Alright.
There's some real beard on beard action here.
10
That's
points of
weird.
damage. And has to make a con save. That is a 17.
Pass.
Okay, it is not stunned. You, however, kick this bird in the back. Xavier.
Seeing that we're kind of trying not to kill these things, I'm gonna turn to the Pent and say, I mean, I can't think of a better way to give your patron the bird than to keep theirs. And yeah, I didn't mean to make the puns, but I noticed it halfway through.
You're giving her the bird.
The patron, we're kidnapping theirs.
I've
And
ruined this
I'm gonna
session.
motion to hold my hand out and see if Nepenthe wants to fling me at the one flying, so I can grab it and.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Advanced acrobatics
Okay.
with Nepenthe and Xavier.
So, my plan was I was just gonna throw my axe at it. You want me to throw you?
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Both of you make either acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
Cool.
Actually,
Yeah,
for
you make
Nepenthe,
athletics,
it
I
would,
make
yeah,
acrobatics.
yeah, exactly. It would be in
We
that
both have
exact order.
advantage.
Yeah,
We have what?
you both have
We both
advantage
have
on these.
advantage,
So Nepenthe roll athletics with advantage, and Xavier rolls acrobatics with advantage.
I'm offended.
13.
I'm offended.
Um,
Your rolls, man. It's just not. This is not.
It is
okay.
above average.
it is. It is.
Yeah, we're chilling. I'm a light boy.
Would have been faster for you to just on your own like go, like that. But sure, you actually
Yeah.
I think
backflip.
Akira's getting that one, so I
Yeah,
I imagine she's going.
You wanted to go there. Gotcha.
I was gonna go to this one, but then Akil flew to it, and I was like, okay, never mind.
I will say that will land you right there.
Oh, so that doesn't. She doesn't throw me. At him?
She threw you at the bird, but you're quite unable to quite find the strength to chuck him out of the air into the air, having just received the damage that was just dealt to you, Nepenthe, and so was able to only give him like a half chuck.
Then I'll just. So I was gonna do it to save myself from the fall, but I'll do it just for to make this worth it. As I land, I will fall out into a like a somersault forward in the sand, and then cast as I finish the somersault, dig down into the floor and disappear into a bolt of thunder, of lightning, is a thunderous boom, and appear on it and just grab it.
Okay. 3d10. Each creature within 10 feet of the space you left, so that would be Ness.
Oh no.
I mean, I would have rolled forward, like with the idea.
Okay,
So
as
I
long
wouldn't
as you
get Ness.
all right, as long as you move
It's
out
just
of the
a
way
teleport.
and expend that movement, you will be able to teleport up to there. And wow, this thunder can be heard from up to 300 feet away. Interesting.
But yeah,
And you're attempting
main
to
thing,
grab
I'm
it.
teleporting to grab.
Make an opposed athletics. This won't be too hard. This thing doesn't have a lot of strength.
That's a
Can it
good
be
thunder.
acrobatics because I'm using my momentum?
Still trying to
I'm not using
actually.
strength. I'm just wrapping my arms around it and using momentum to take it out of the air.
This is still considered a grapple, so I'll call it athletics.
You're trying to wrap it in a towel.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not. trying to use
Just
strength.
going by grapple rules. It doesn't have a lot of strength at all. It has less than you.
I think Xavier might have advantage because of the size difference.
Actually, yes, it is considered
Oh.
small. You do
Okay.
have advantage. Thank you for the reminder.
16.
Negative
Almost.
one.
Negative one.
It got a 14, so you succeed. It is now grappled and
Hey.
in your arms. So,
I'm
Do I-
taking a fall into the water.
Can I still use that mine?
sorry?
Turn? Do I still have like a turn that I can do things on, or was throwing him my thing?
I imagine.
Throwing,
That's fine.
It's up
If
to
that's
you.
my
throwing
action.
him was your action. But you
Okay.
still have the
It's,
rest of your
uh,
turn.
I'm sorry.
The Xavier counts as an improvised weapon.
He could have.
Does she have one other attack? Does she have 2 other attacks because of haste?
I'm gonna beat a motherfucker with another motherfucker.
I have one more attack because of haste, and then I
Yes.
have my movement. So
Yes, you do.
What is the gap between the rock that I'm on and the rock that's further out?
This one up here.
Yeah.
It's just to be 25 feet.
Okay, but I can
got 80
jump
feet
that,
of
no
movement.
problem. I don't have to do like a long jump or anything.
What's your strength score?
16
A
plus
lot.
3.
If you
Of
moved up,
haste.
if you moved up to there, you'd be able to make that jump.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna jump to here. And then I'm gonna throw my axe at it.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Yeet!
Is this sort of attack considered at disadvantage?
I don't. Oh, it's definitely.
I think because if it's within 20 feet, it should be fine. Because an axe is a throwable weapon, a thrown weapon.
Just out of reach.
Okay, then what if I jumped off the rock and then threw it?
That will work.
That's what I'll do.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I throw it.
Okay. This is with the 15 or the 12?
15, advantage because of keels on it.
Hits.
16.
That kills it. So you jump. You do this jump leap to the second rock in front of you, and you take your axe and just chuck it. I feel you sense imminent death from your left, and so you kind of dodge backwards as this huge axe is larger than your body. Giant Slayer comes hurling through the air,
Yeah.
and the bird just becomes paste in front of you.
Yeah, please tell me it just cleanly takes its head off.
Yep. You're like, well, shit.
Freaking with the head cut off.
You're like squat.
A giant slayer and spins and lands right in the middle of the right into the sand and splashes water.
Oh.
Well,
I
it's-
have to admit, I thought that was a smaller axe.
Nope,
Oh.
it's giant slayer.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
technically, because I'm in that rage, it's actually made of shadows, and when it hits that bird and it dies,
Oh.
it comes right back.
Yep. And so
Oh
you,
yeah.
as if in preparation for it, you stick your hand out, and with like I would imagine you have your back turned towards. The back spins, lands you here, this, and then turning your back towards it, the axe reappears and you grab it out of thin air, and that's the end of combat, everybody.
And then
Yeah, and
fall
then I
into the
just
water.
land in the water.
Yep.
Just
Oh, well,
A cannonball.
I suppose I
Okay.
don't need this. I don't need this anymore. And then I'm going to.
Wait,
I'm
hold
gonna put the bird down since
hold
I
on,
see
hold
Xavier
on,
has one.
Hold on. Oh, right, okay. Oh, Xavier has one grappled. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's literally holding on to one like it's a big plushie. I don't need this. I'm just gonna shoot it.
We'll just count that as an automatic hit. As you all of you hear a loud gunshot, and then Ronax's clothes is just splattered.
Never mind.
You do see Ness turn around and wince a little bit. I'm gonna walk over to Xavier to see the one that he's caught.
Yeah, I'm just like, just stop. Yeah, stop.
Josh. We'll come pick this up again in just 1 minute because I need to go to the bathroom after that.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Sure.
I'll be right back. I will come back. I need to do something.
intentional puns. Amir, you just said murder about crows. So.
Amir, you've
Listen,
joined us.
I've been taking my
One of
medication.
us.
I haven't taken my
One of
medication
us.
today.
One of us. One
Betty.
of us.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yes. I love you too. I love all of you. Please stop the puns. It's killing me.
Oh, so you want me to go wake Alex up?
No, please, no. That if we get Alex up right now, that man will literally murder all of us.
Murder.
I just did it.
Oh, please murder me.
One of us. One of us. One of us.
Moving on. So, the battle having been the battle having concluded, my brain, all of you stand once again facing outwards towards the ocean, trying to catch your breath within this night air. Xavier, you have one of these crow locks, raven locks, clutched around your arm as it intensely tries and escapes to escape from you, but is unable to. The rest of you find yourselves now regathering back together upon the sandy beaches. And you see Sir Fishington, who has gone and hid behind one of these rocks, emerge back out and says, is it over? Perhaps?
Yeah, we're done. Yeah.
Can I come out now? Is it safe?
I mean, you can stay where you are if you want.
Good, I'll stay here then. And he ducks back under the rock.
Ronax is gonna walk up to Nepenthe, and sort of like start to reach out with her hand, and then kind of look at her face. Are you all right?
That's the rock.
I think I owe everyone a story. Let's just get back to the fire.
I love campfire side stories, so let's do that then. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds.
All right.
On
Yes, since this entire thing did not constitute as a full long rest, since you got interrupted in the middle of the night, you will either have to sleep in until late afternoon tomorrow. Not even late afternoon. You will have to sleep in until about 12 tomorrow to be able to count it as a long rest. Or you will take a point of exhaustion tomorrow morning if you head out too early.
Take a short rest to mitigate the exhaustion.
No, a short rest would not mitigate the exhaustion. You can take 5 points, hit points back. Nepenthe, as Ronax lays her hands on you and starts closing some of your wounds back up. Not all of them. You still feel hurt and sore, but you gather that if you rest for long enough, maybe head out a little later tomorrow morning, you would able to be patched. You would be able to patch most of yourself up. Alrighty. So you now gather. Yeah.
Just a quick thing. Can we say that Snowfeather has like retrieved one of the corpses of the birds from the water as a snack, and I haven't noticed yet.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh God.
Oh,
So the one that got sliced in half by Giant Slayer. You kind of see this. No, actually, you won't see it. But Snowfeather rushes back in and comes and sits next to you beside the log, and you hear her going.
What were you going to say, Roy?
I was just gonna say when they were talking, Xavier is gonna use Dawn and cast levitation on the two halves that I think have probably sunk into the ocean. to raise them out of the water and bring them up onto the shore.
One of those halves is in Snowfeather's beak. So,
No, I mean of the big guy.
of the big guy. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you regather around the campfire, deadly tired, trying to almost gather the pieces of the monsters that had attacked you in the middle of the night and place them beside the campfire. What do you do?
A couple of things. I'm going to use my channel divinity to regain a spell slot, and then I'm going second level spell slot, and I'm going to use it to cast a prayer of healing. And I think what I'm going to do is just like bless the fire, so that it feels like warm sunlight. And over the next 10 minutes, everyone's going to get some 12 hit points.
Beautiful.
Up to 6 of us. So anybody who's hit, probably.
Beautiful.
I assume someone's untouched.
Akio isn't hurt.
Yeah.
Amabilis isn't hurt. Ronax took damage. You weren't hurt from damage, Golf.
Maybe not physical.
No,
Those are
not
better
physical.
rolls.
Yeah. 4 nat ones today. Holy shit, dude. So.
Actually, there's three more in talk to myself that nobody sees.
So, Ness walks back and he takes the rosary infused quarterstaff, and he almost brushes it over the fire as it glows and sparks into this orange flame. And amidst the cold seaside air, you fills up with warmth almost as you sit and gather, and you feel your breathing becomes more steady. You feel a bit more calm, and your wounds start to heal up one by one. So anybody that requires healing, heal back up 12 hit points from Prayer of Healing. Yes.
Xavier, what is that thing? Is it a bird, or is it just a thing that looks like a bird in the shape of one?
I don't think it's a bird, from honestness. I'm holding it, like looking over it. Do I get like a sense of something more?
No, just from looking it over. It's actually yes. It's definitely not something that you would find roaming outside every day, you know.
Yep. I'm gonna loom over it, and it can probably understand what I'm saying anyway because of my speech of beast and leaf. Is you a bird, or is you something shaped like a bird?
Still struggling it in his arms. The raven lock gives off these like large high pitched noises that hurts all of your ears at the same time.
All right. I'm going to use a divine sense to see what I get from it.
It is a fiend.
Oh yeah, that's like remember. You remember the cat with the big smile? It's one of them.
Oh.
Wait. Is it a cat with an obnoxious pattern of speech? Like, it is really obnoxious when they speak, and it's kind of evil. Kind of.
Yeah.
I would like to think we all turn and slowly look at a kill.
Yeah.
I mean, is it like a cat where it can kind of disappear into a thin air, and just like it seems like he is some kind of hallucinations, Like, and the sign's like so obnoxious. It's like or something.
Okay, have you? I don't know if I like this. We're gonna bag that for later. I'm gonna put the bird into a sack and just tighten it and put it in our cart, and just say, Akil, whatever we gotta unpack with whatever all you just said, we should probably get to that at a later date. I'm gonna sit down next to the vent.
Oh, sorry.
There you can go. I will just sit down next to the vent and say, you don't have to tell us anything right now or later, really, whenever you want.
If you are all willing to fight and get hurt for me, you should know why.
If you want to tell us a story, whatever your story is, I'm happy to listen, but you don't have an obligation to us.
I do.
He just puts his hand on her knee and scooches away to listen to the story.
I suppose just the beginning is as good a place as any. I grew up in the norths of Greenhaven, where the trees are as wide as 4 men, and it's all nettle and blue-green and snow, and you're just as likely to find a mountain as you are a ravine. And that was my home, and it was beautiful. And I grew up there with my mother and father and no one else. And I was educated in everything, in multiple languages and diplomacy, and I thought nothing of it. I didn't wonder what kind of person needed diplomacy who never spoke to anyone other than her parents. And occasionally, I would visit my grandfather. Now, he was centuries old. His life force had been tied to a tree in order to keep him alive. He was so smart. But as he grew older, there was less and less that could be made out. But one day I had snuck off to see him, and he strung enough words together to tell me that I had been raised as a lamb to slaughter. When the Raven Queen fell, my mother and father were devastated. And they came up with a plan to build her a vessel so that she might come back. And that was me. And when I found out, I lost my mind. I ran away. But I tried to, at least. But they had made all sorts of deals and terrible agreements with any number of minor gods, and my rejection of that destiny negated those deals, and they disappeared from right in front of me. And so I ran, and shadow creatures, the darklings, that Ness and Xavier you've seen, those chased me. And I found a respite for almost 100 years. But I had to move on. And they found me again, and I ran. And then Grun found me, and you all know the story from there. But I had thought that the Eye and the Raven Queen were separate, but they're not. The Ravens, whatever they are, show that she somehow has influence here, despite her death. That is what I'm fighting, a god. And I won't make any of you do it.
Would I have read anything about the Raven Queen?
No, not in all of your years of study. This is the first time you're hearing that name.
So that goes for everyone.
Yes. This is the kind of world this campaign is based in.
Any old legends that sound like this?
No, none.
The other thing I was going to ask is the magic that was used to extend the old man's life through the tree. Have I ever heard of anything like that?
This is within realm of possibility. Make a history check.
Oh boy, not good. That's a 9.
No. Actually, Xavier,
But I was gonna ask.
make a history check as well.
Right.
And I'll tell you why specifically you.
16. Not great, not terrible.
So in the city of Dorcanus, there is a very tall, lonely tower that stands next to kind of the board of elves that govern over the city. And these are rumors that you've heard either from Grun or Colvane or from your father, that there is a tree there with a seer, an elf, who has presumably lived for several hundred years. This seer is referred to as the old green seer of Dorcanus, and your Lord Father has often paid visits to him on occasions to look into the future or to make predictions or something. It's his presence is fairly well known throughout the city of Dorcanus. Whether that is the same person that Nepenthe is referring to, you do not know, but the same tree magic that is kind of extending his lifespan does sound pretty familiar to what she's talking about.
Nepenthe.
Sorry, really quick. Nepenthe stands, and she has like undergarments obviously, but she takes off her shirt and turns and shows them the back tattoo, which I'll send a photo of in our chat group.
You see almost this stained glass depiction upon the entirety of her back. This very beautiful black cloaked woman with a white mask standing in the center.
I didn't realize we were talking about culty tattoos when we described your tattoos. No, that makes me so sad.
These appeared almost 80 years ago now. The last time that I killed her darklings on my own. More and more I worry that I'll never outrun her. These tattoos are my binding to her.
Ronax, you were saying?
Depends. What do you know about this old god? Do you know anything that might be relevant and useful in a means of fighting her?
Did
And
you
she's
say
got
or fighting her?
fighting, and she's
Okay.
got her pen and quill, or she's got her quill and notebook out, and she's looking at you very intensely.
What would I know? What would they have told me?
From various chants that you've heard and praises of reverence that your parents have mentioned of her now several hundred years ago now, they say that as the Frost Maiden is today, a deity of death, one who takes the souls of the departed and ushers them on into whatever plane or afterlife they sought. The Frost Maiden only fills that spot temporarily due to her relation to death and starvation and famine. The Raven Queen, however, is death in the purest sense of the word. She is death. She embodies death. She brings death. She saves people from death. But nothing on how you would be able to fight death, no.
She is death. And she is cruel and sour. You'd think that a deity of death would accept their own, but no. No.
This might be a little bit of a stretch, but if you have a duty to do, and I'm not speaking of you in particular, but if she feels as if she has a duty to do, then I suppose it makes sense that she would want to fulfill that duty if it was torn asunder from her hands.
You would have me give my life to her?
Of course not. I did just ask how we would go about fighting her. I wouldn't fight a god of death if I so very much wanted you to give in to her, would I?
As far as I am concerned, her duty is fulfilled. The Frost Maiden does a fine job.
Maybe you don't know the answer to this, but was she always this bad when she was alive?
It's hard to tell because my parents loved her. They wouldn't do what they've done if they didn't. And I know she had many, many followers who did her bidding and loved her the same.
Like, I mean, do they know for sure that the thing that they're talking to and trying to put in your body is like the Raven Queen, or is it like just a thing that like is wearing the Raven Queen's clothes? I don't know if that made any sense.
I think they knew that it was her. Despite what they've set me up for. They did love me. And I don't think they would have given me if it wasn't for something that they loved as well.
As this conversation is going on, you still have your back turned towards the party, correct? The light of the full moon shines down almost like a spotlight upon Nepenthe as she stands back bare towards the rest of the party. And unknowingly towards her. For the rest of you, however, you hear this really loud from inside the bag that Xavier is holding. And several other caws sound from around the area as if 1,000 ravens are watching over the area. Just this cacophony of caws and raven sounds as
Punch the bird.
you do?
Yeah.
The raven inside the bag goes quiet as if for a moment, but the rest of them around you continue. As you are on this beach, the cliffs that surround you almost resemble a half moon shape from the back of you, and these noises come from all around surrounding you except from in the ocean in front. And then a few moments pass as this very loud distraction goes on, and you hear the fluttering of wings as almost a flock, several flocks of ravens flutter out from the trees and fly out towards the ocean, as if almost a blanket covering the sky for a few seconds before dissipating and disappearing. And upon the tattoo on her back, you see the this part where the light behind her, this circular shape behind her, where this it's almost this beam of light extending out from beneath, blinks, and an eye opens up as it blinks and reopens, and you see a slit down the middle, and
On
these
the tattoo?
lines that on the tattoo, these lines that signify an iris start emerging, these rings behind the Raven Queen, and almost like in a very slow manner, the eye blinks once more and now stays completely still as if not having ever moved before, but the tattoo has changed, and that halo behind her is now very visibly an eye behind her.
Pent,
Yes.
do you know if the Raven Queen had any sort of imagery associated with her with eyes? I feel like as if that's a bit strange.
The beholder was unexpected, but
I don't want to keep information from you regarding your own life. I'm sure Xavier has a mirror of some sort, so I'll use that and hold it up so she can look over her shoulder and see the tattoo.
Fuck.
Yeah. Look, I don't care how many gods we have to go up against. If we have to fight every god that's died and everyone that's taken their spot, I'm okay with that.
I can't ask that of you.
I'm
You
not
are
asking anything.
for all of you. I mean, I can't outlive more people that I care about.
That doesn't scare me.
Amablis is
Raven
going
Green
to
doesn't
walk up
scare
to
me.
Nepenthe and hug.
I hug Amabilis back, let's be clear.
Nepenthe. Something feels wrong about the story that they told you. But I don't think I am smart enough to figure out what it is. But I'll feel like there's more to it. But something feels a bit wrong about it. But we'll be here to protect you from whatever it is, and whoever it is that's trying to hurt you. You can bet that.
I wonder, why specifically you? Is my question. Why specifically you? Surely there could be, if she has so many followers that are devoted to her in such a fanatical way, surely there must be other possible vessels, which isn't to say that I would wish this upon anybody else. However, she seems quite hellbent on you specifically.
I think I'm the last one.
Would that mean your parents aren't in the picture anymore?
I don't know.
By the way, anybody who was looking would have seen the phrase, I think I'm the last one, hit deep. And
Yeah.
that does go out
Oh.
from Pat Nepenthe's hand.
It's
And
been.
just-
I mean,
Sorry.
A lady never tells her age, but I'm 600 years old. If there was another, I would have met them.
Is that a lot? I look around everybody else's
That's
faces.
a lot. No.
It's a lot.
It looks like a lot.
It's quite a lot. Yes.
It is a lot.
Depends. You hear this drip against the sand. Plip. 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 You look down towards your pouch. And where the heat ray had singed, there is a tear in your pack.
I immediately tear up in my pack.
The raven
What's
feather.
wrong?
That was half frozen at first. is slowly dripping water onto the sand. It has started thawing.
Oh! When I was visited by the Frost Maiden and she gave me the powers that I now use to rage, she told me that as long as this feather was frozen, the Raven Queen would be kept at bay, and it has been melting.
I'm going to use Ray of Frost on the feather.
Ronax, I don't think we have the powers to.
You point your finger towards the raven feather. As Ray of Frost streaks out towards it, you see that the ice catches back up, freezes the entire feather, but not even 2 seconds pass by before the magical ice that you throw out melts away, leaving the ice that had formed initially.
Would you rather I don't try?
No, I don't think it will help. I think you should conserve your power.
Does-
Sorry, Roddy, really quick. Is my prized possession that I keep in that pouch okay from the fire?
It's fine.
Okay.
My friends.
I know what you're talking about. It's fine.
Amabilis.
Oh, does that mean it will get worse from now?
I can only imagine that it will.
If this was the Raven Queen being held back, I can only assume things get much worse from here.
Yeah.
Ronax, Xavier, I'd like both of you from your studies to make me a quick intelligence check, because I am unsure whether to place this in Arcana or Religion. I'll just say intelligence for the both of you. 10.
You can make it neither or.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to scholarly inspiration us?
If you would like to
Up to you.
expend that spell slot,
cool.
you go ahead. And you both can add
Alright.
a
I'll do it for both of us.
d6 to those rolls. Yeah, Ronax add a d6 to that roll?
Yeah.
20, 26. Okay. Yeah, okay. 15, that brings it up to 23 and 15. 15 first. Ronax, you start thinking. Frost Maiden, Feather, Raven Queen, all these thoughts and patterns and everything. And you look towards Xavier, the both of you lock eyes for a moment, and you, as if instinctively, stare up at the sky, and you see the constellation of stars above. The waves crash in gently from the beach. As you start thinking, constellation, stars, winter. Gods are often tied to the constellations above. In at least your studies, each constellation has been given name, or at least to your knowledge, based on or in reference of a divine entity of some sort. Perhaps the Frost Maiden or the Raven Queen draws their power strongest in certain constellations of the year, while other deities become also more powerful during certain constellations, certain times of the year, certain months of the year. Right now, in the middle of spring, in the middle of summer.
No. Shit. Know where we're going with this.
In the middle of summer is Draco. Oh, you know what? Let me double check that for you just to make sure.
Can you post that again when you find it?
Of course. That's why I'm double checking, because I thought it was in pinned, but apparently it is not. Sorry, just give me a moment.
While you do that,
Mhm.
I'm gonna get up and walk to the pen. Do you need that feather on you? Must it be on your person?
I don't know.
Draco
Well-
is the sign that is prevalent this time of month.
Well, if it doesn't matter, if you can find out if it doesn't matter if it's on your person or if it just... I don't know. I just want to help. I feel like you're a good person, and I feel like this is a very unfortunate thing. And as much as I value duty, as much as I value facing that duty, I don't believe that one should face duty that is forced upon them without their knowledge. They need to accept it. They need to be aware of it. And you lived so much of your life without knowing, without being able to make a choice. So, even if it is futile, I would like to try, see if I can find a way to keep the feather frozen.
You're welcome to try while we're stopped or something, but I think I should keep hold of it.
I'll try and find something. I'll try and make something then.
Now, the lot of you, it's all well and good that you want to help, and it means a lot to me. But if it comes down to it, if she gets me, please don't fight her. Okay.
Well, just as if I believe that it should be your choice to face this duty or to reject it. When that time comes, when we cross that bridge, it will be our choice.
I couldn't bear the thought that I, even unknowingly, even if it's just my body and my spirit is long gone, could never hurt any of you. That would kill me all over again. Just
Depends. I think Xavier just looks around the group and says, "We're a bunch of nobodies. We're all so lost and so alone. At least we were. You are my world. Group is my world. We were all alone. And I don't think we are anymore for the first time I've ever known. Nothing in this world or the next or anywhere else is going to stop me. I can speak for myself. I can't speak for everyone here, but I get the
Actually, I
feeling
think
I'm not alone.
I prefer it if you spoke for me because I'm not as good at speaking.
Then I speak for me and Ness.
I cannot lose another family.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we'll all just have to go to hell together then.
I'm down for it.
It's,
um,
look over it to kill.
I don't really know what to say right now because I don't get it what you guys are talking about. But well, if you were to be in trouble ever again, I mean, am I gonna pluck one feather from a kill's wing and give it to him?
Thanks.
In my tribe, that there's a belief that if one of your families are going somewhere far away or they might experience some bad lucks, you can give them your feather to bring back the luck and share the luck. If that makes sense.
Thank you.
But I think I'd like to permission to give that man inspiration. That's beautiful.
It's amazing.
I'll allow it. Akio, you gain a point of inspiration. Because that was
I
a
don't know how to use it though.
this gives you advantage on anything until tomorrow. Lara, your mic is acting up a bit. There's a bit of static electricity. Yeah. Sorry. Continue on.
Sure, there will be no such a day where you are going to hurt us. So, if you need anything, I can be here for you. I mean, I'm just always here in Roden Bridge and what is the place where we came from again?
Rifle.
Yes, Rifle. Yes.
I love Akil's mentality of, I don't know what's going on, but if we're going to hell, sure.
Here's a feather. Take it with you.
So, I mean, well, I'm not. Aracocas live only 50 years, so you could totally gonna outlive me for sure. Awkwardly laugh.
Everybody should get some rest. I'll take first watch. I've got to tend to this stab wound.
Do you mind if I join you?
I haven't taken watch yet.
I'm gonna take
Sure,
watch
anyway,
as well, but
Yeah.
I'll just
Four
go
of us?
I'll
You
just go
don't
to
need
bed.
4 of us to take.
No, we're next to go.
I have degree in medicine, so I can treat your wounds.
You could all just stay up together till morning.
We cannot do that, yeah.
Just everybody take the
Everybody
exhaustion
rest.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no spell slots.
So, who wants to take that? Lara, your static is a little bit. Do you mind like tightening your cable a little bit? Thank you. Yeah, who wants to take that? Actually, this would
stay up
be
if Veronica can
fourth
go.
watch, and then the sun would come up 4 hours after that. But you can still count it as a long rest if you rested into the afternoon of the next day.
I was just saying, Xavier's the only one so far that hasn't taken the watch because everyone else is gone. So that's why he's staying up.
So, so I think I'm gonna take a watch as well because I feel used to it already about exhaustion.
Mm-hmm. So I'll
Oh,
just go ahead and throw out that whoever wants to stay up an extra 4 hours, you can do that. It'll just delay tomorrow's travel by a little bit because I know people do most likely want to talk right now about the pen.
Yeah. So who's taking watch right now? I know Aurora and I are. I don't know.
Amir, were you as well?
No.
Okay. Akil, I think, is
And
staying.
then, cool. I think Xavier in that watch, because I don't know. I think Nepenthe and him have gotten very comfortable with not just sitting together in silence over the month. Like to the degree where like other people can sit with them and like it's really awkward, but they're just chilling.
Yeah.
I think he's just gonna be sitting next to Nepenthe, and then I want to try something already.
Mm-hmm.
Taking out my half of the crystal that we have, or my chunk. I kind of want to. We have enough raven bits, so dip a finger in raven blood and kind of
Jesus.
rub that on my palm. And hold the crystal and try to commune with it again, as I have a good amount in the month off. And I'm gonna reach my hand out to Nepenthe and just say, I'm gonna probably disappear for a little bit. If you could just make sure I'm good.
Like physically? Or
No, you know, glazed over eyes and whatnot.
gotcha. Nepenthe is practicing stitching herself up for the first time. It's a very new concept.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going well.
He would stop and help you stitch yourself and then go back to this.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Was he holding out? Are you holding out your hand for me to take, or just
Yeah.
out? Okay, yeah. She'll take your hand.
I want to try to find whatever being is in this rock.
The crystal or the
Crystal.
and you are doing detect thoughts?
Yeah.
Crystal pulsates, almost like a beating heart once more, and Vorax lifts his head up, looks in your direction, and you see that the crystal in his core, the exposed core, also and give off the same beat, almost like a heart. The same kind of pulse that you felt deep underground in the base, the Rook's basement in Slumberlog. And rather than a train of extended thoughts this time, a few images flash in your head, Xavier. And since you are holding hands, in Nepenthe's as well. So it's just as in rapid succession, 5 or 6 images with static. Kind of like when Gandalf reached for the ring. You once see again the beam of light, and then immediately flashing over towards a feminine figure. Holding hands with this Raven Queen. And then again once more towards the figure on the left, who was holding the Raven's queen's hand in the figure below, bent over amidst a fiery pit as she kind of drags her fingers down her face from her eyes, and you can see blood gather and pour from her face down, and then again a tower of fire as this woman stands back up and looks up at the blood red moon overhead. The moon also kind of positioning it above this tower almost like an eye as she looks up at it. And then at the last second, the very last second, finish your train of thought. I need to look something up.
Yeah, I want to. So I'm trying in this to find the consciousness of whatever being this is. Ask it a question.
An entirely different figure. One in red and green armor. Features looking more human than elven. Womanly, with long brown hair. Stands almost, but without any of her facial features, stand in front of you. What do you wish to ask?
Is Nepenthe with me in this?
No, this last one is only you.
Okay. Then I won't say it out loud in the real world, but in my head, just to them, I will say, I don't know what you are, but I know you're divine in some sense. So I don't know what it is I'll have to do or what deals I'll have to make, but if I help you, and I think because this is in his head, the image of Nepenthe appears to them both, then you help her. Does that sound good?
This figure just stands looking at you in silence. None of her facial features are there.
You seem desperate. And I know I am, so I'm gonna hope that's a yes.
From Vorax's crystal, Ronax sleeping beside Vorax, you suddenly feel a warmth next to you, as you usually do sleeping next to him. A warmth and pulse. Almost as a heart beating faster, the crystal changes from blue to yellow. And you hear this voice. All things bring change. Whether it be the turn of the era or ages past, venture into the unknown and see what you can find. If you do, then I will be there with you. Detect thoughts fade. And Vorax turns back into blue again.
Okay. To be clear, like
There were three figures in that vision.
that was what I was asking. Yeah. Mhm.
There were three figures in that vision.
Did any of them
Yeah.
make me remember Ness's woman?
No.
Because I know one was Elvin.
No.
Okay.
You saw three. You saw the Raven Queen as depicted in the pen's back tattoo. You saw a separate woman. This one was wearing reddish, black red robes. She looks to almost be drow or some form of dark elf, at least. She's the one who was clawing her face down and crying amidst the field of fire. And then the last one you saw was the almost human looking woman with brown hair and greenish brown armor.
I know who
By the way, Roddy,
Mhm.
I'm sorry that I throw so many vision quests at you, but dear God, are you good at coming up with them?
I do my best to stay on my feet, man.
You're so good. Bravo.
To be clear, I
think
didn't hear any of that, right?
You did. You heard it from Vorax.
Oh,
Huh.
it like audibly came from him, or it was like a.
When his crystal changed color, you heard it telepathically. And this is only between the three of you, because Xavier's the one who casted Detect Thoughts. Nepenthe would have seen right up until that last image, but not that last one. And Ronax would have heard the voice.
Did anybody else hear the voice?
What did Xavier for the voice? Of
Xavier and Ronax does, not Nepenthe.
Oh, you're lucky. She would have gotten so mad.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I think
Find
that
anything
worked.
fun?
Oh, it's just always so fun when I do this. Grabbing his temple.
This is the second day in a row you've done this. I'm gonna need you to make a intelligence
Yeah.
saving throw.
This is so called for. 23.
You feel this sharp headache in your temple as it almost causes a ringing vibration that you could audibly hear. And you see, Nepenthe, out of Xavier's left ear a streak of blood runs down it. But you shake your head and no permanent damage seems to have been done towards your mind in looking into such great divine
fair.
images 2 days in a row. You do, however, take
Hurt me.
5 points of psychic damage.
Down. I will take it.
Do that
I think
again.
he. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize. You're bleeding.
Oh, yeah, that's probably not a good sign.
Generally not. No.
Hey, you don't deserve this. Sorry that you have to go through it.
I could not imagine a life without it. And I don't quite consider that a bad thing. It's terrifying, to be sure, but I've met people I never would have.
Well, I don't know how the timing worked as it did, but thank you for finding me.
Like Grun finding me, but You're welcome.
He's very good at that. I miss Brown.
I'm sure he misses you too.
And music came to a really strange peak there, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Talks about
And
Groon.
we die.
Horror peaks.
It was just like us to be
Groon
like,
is
oh, Groon.
Cthulhu.
And then you were like, Corvus comes out of the bushes. He's here.
Yeah. By the time I realized that it was coming to that peak, it had already happened. So
Mhm. I think they just sit together. I think Xavier walks over and just lays his head on her shoulder again, and they sit watching the fire.
eventually, since we're considering this a last watch, unless anybody has anything else they wish to do at all, the sun rises, but you do get another 6 hours or so of rest before you head off into the next day's travel.
I'm having a dream where the entire beach is covered with sandcastles and I'm having to try to cross it without stepping on them.
Since I only have to train for 4 hours, would I be able to get a long rest in, or still no?
You'd be able to get a long rest in that time. The rest of you, however, still have to spend up until, we'll say, maybe 11 or 12 of and into the next day until you are able to fully get up and move on with the rest of your travel.
I think we do that.
Okay.
I think I'll
Yeah.
be sleeping on top of my sandcastle.
Oh.
Oh my god.
But the morning does
Oh,
come.
no.
Yeah? Go ahead, Ronex.
Whenever she wakes up, she's going to find Xavier. Good morning.
Morning.
Given last night, I wanted to ask a favor of you.
Yeah.
You have the sending ability, yes?
Yes, I do.
I wish to commandeer you to send a message, if that's possible. If you would be willing to do such a thing.
Yeah, I think I have to know who they are. But other than
don't-
that, of course.
You don't know who they are, but I will describe him to you.
Just as a note,
can try my
they did that to Veth's husband in crit roll. So
Yeah,
provided
I don't know. It's your
provided
your,
she gives enough good enough of a description, I will allow it.
I can make like an intelligence check for Cassie if you want.
You can also like try to
However you wanna
sketch
do it.
along if that would help at all. I'll give you advantage if you do that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Buddy.
it was like
Yeah.
familiar. Cool.
Can you did you ever give me Lorei'an's full name?
I did. Hippolytos Lorei'an.
Hippolytus Lorei'an.
Yes.
Oh God, what a dope name.
You will be sending this to my master. I have not communed with him in quite some time. And I wish to provide him an update on my situation, given that I should be returning home soon, but I am very clearly not on my way there. He is an elderly man with fine robes. He is a cripple and sits in a device called a wheelchair. He is typically in his study, which is a very large room with various maps and trinkets and other strange devices that myself and some of his other students have come up with. He has graying hair and very, very nice blue eyes.
Sketching all this.
He is, I would not describe him as frail, but he is certainly not of a strong stature. He tends to carry himself quite similar to how I do. And has a warm smile.
Yeah, I think he just sketches everything. They go back and forth probably a couple times till the sketches right.
Make
And I will attempt to send him a smile.
make an intelligence check with advantage.
Yep. Sitting.
Can you tell me his name one more time, Matthew?
Hippolytos Logarius.
His name is Hippolytus Lorei'an. That
Right.
is the name
And
of my master.
do you know where he is right now? That might help narrow down the.
He should
Oh.
be in his study at the highest room in the tower, the left side tower of Willows Creek in Desire.
Right. Xavier's gonna pull out like an ornate kind of scroll that he has like in a scroll casing, and pop that open and pull up the scroll and with a quill etch some arcane writing into the air, and in an instant the scroll unfurls and floats before him, with the quill up against it, waiting for him to say something, and he's just gonna look to her and ask what he needs to be saying.
Are you sure you're comfortable with this?
Mm-hmm.
Dear Logarius,
Dear
has been-
Logarius.
it has been quite some time since I have attempted to reach you. It is I, Ronax.
It has been. You say it all.
I simply want to let you know that I will be longer than previously stated.
You get
I
up
am
to I will be longer with 25 words.
Fuck. If
It could have been
What-
worse.
what happens when Xavier
It
finishes?
ends with an ellipses.
Ellipses.
It ends. I say the 25th word, and then the quill kind of like stops, and then it doesn't have eyes, but it does like the animated object thing where it looks at you, and it goes back and it writes an ellipses, and it disappears.
She's long-winded. I don't know what to tell you.
Did you forget the 25 word restriction?
No, I didn't.
Okay. You got the most of it in there. I will be
I
longer.
look at you awkwardly and go, I forgot about that part. Well, he got this one. Should we just wait for him to respond to this one and then send another? Or
I would like to send one more.
all right. Pull out another scroll casing, unfurl it.
Okay,
and it will.
What was the last thing that she said? Since
I
apparently
I
everybody
will
was-
be longer.
I will be longer than previously stated, and I hope that you and Mama and Papa are all well. I have some business to attend to here. I will be home as soon as possible. Ronex.
You get right up to possible.
Fuck!
25 words, man.
It's fine, fine.
Ronex doesn't do brevity.
So he gets those two scrolls that appear to him, and I think in my voice it says all that.
A few moments go by. I did not think that my young pupil would have acquired friends to which she could contact me with. Olam and Lena are fine. Tarry not much longer. I await you.
Yeah, I relay all that.
Oh, he seems to be quite pleased with me. And you can tell.
He doesn't sound displeased.
you can tell by knowing her just long enough that she's being a little sarcastic.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got that for sure. Absolutely. He didn't sound displeased.
He sounded quite displeased.
I had half put myself into Balasar right there. I was ready to do the voice and everything. I was like, okay, Lucarius, turn back, do the old man. Okay.
She's not trying. You're not supposed to seduce her. That's your master. Come on, man. All right.
Regardless, I very much appreciate that. I do not believe that a raven, or much less even if I would want to use a raven at this juncture, any kind of distance travel communication would be far removed from my capabilities at this point to get it back to him within any reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Of course.
If I may, perhaps one more. Not to him. I know that I'm...
Yeah, sure.
Are you sure?
I believe I can.
I will be extremely kind to you right now and say that these will count towards your previous days long rest, since you have not yet completed your
Nah, I used all those spell slots, I think.
You did?
I really
Okay.
burned through spells, man. Yeah. This is a new day.
This is today's?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, then that's your call. I was about to be very kind to you right now and save you like 3 6 level spell slots, but
Nah, we don't do. Xavier doesn't conserve. He just does shit.
all right, go for it.
Let's hope there's no more combat today. Otherwise, fact.
It's all right. You're real close to the fishing hamlet. So if you don't mind, then if this is then going to count towards today's spell slots anyway, I wish for this segment to be going on as you travel, if that would be fine, just to save us some time. Cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alrighty.
This one is to my mother.
All right, they
She-
go through the same process. They you start drawing.
she describes her as a human.
I would
Um,
assume so.
and just we'll figure out the description for that later, since I came up with Lorei'an off the top of my head right there. Mama, it is I, Chronicles, and I just wanted to let you know that I got your letter and I am doing very well.
Ten more.
That's all.
Okay.
10 more?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I miss you and Papa very much.
4 more.
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
His favorite ads. I love you.
For this one, the response comes almost immediately as a very warm, soft woman in older in her age. Voice comes through. You see that the way that she talks bears almost an exact resemblance of Ronak's, and the manner of which her speech is. And so let me see as the DM whether or not I will be able to replicate Amir. Daughter, is this really you? Are you communicating through a friend? Your father and I, we are quite all right. I'm glad our letter reached you in Ryfield. I am making lemon pie today. Will you be home soon?
Oh, no.
I can send one more if I use my what's it called?
No.
I have the pearl power that I've not used since we bought it.
No.
This episode's name is just spell slots.
This is really the first time that I've been running out of spell slots.
It is unbelievably depressing just to think about like a parent saying, "Are you coming home soon?" and not getting a reply. I know you don't want to use that spell slot, but that is so sad.
When you kind of relay that to Ronax, you can see she gets very happy at the mention of lemon pie. And she looks at you, and then when you repeat the last bit, she kind of puts her hand up to her mouth, and she turns away, and you can see that she starts crying.
We can send a response if you'd like. It
No.
pulls out like a pearl ring.
We've used up so many.
I just need to rest. He puts on a pearl ring and kind of flashes it. It kind of flashes a little bit, and like these tendrils of arcane energy go up his arm. I just knew I can. Yeah. One more. And then probably got a nap before I can do it again.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Oh, baby. I wouldn't want to leave her hanging on that.
Well, I don't either. I didn't think that she would ask a question at the end of it.
Yeah, some people really don't understand how the whole magic thing works. So they're just like, it's so easy. I'll just ask a question. I'll get an answer. No, but no, it's just not. Anyway, I'm happy to do so. Pull out another scroll.
Oh, fuck. Mama, I regret to inform you very much so that I will not be home soon, though Ligarius insists that I am. I will do my best to be home as soon as
I
I
get
To be home.
my
No!
best.
Fine, whatever.
To be home.
My best to be home. Oh no.
You hear her response comes back in almost a very pleased, almost mid sob voice as she calls out to somebody who you do not know, as if in the moment of receiving that immediately calls to her husband. Olam, dear, she replied. Please tell her we miss her very much. Do try to enjoy yourself. The discovery comes before any precedented duty. We only wish for you to be, and that's it.
And that's kind of where my ability stops. So
You can see her pull out a very nice handkerchief, and she just walks away. She's crying. Thank you.
I imagine I imagine that with the way Xavier cast the spell, the letters remain as they are with letter he sends on one end, and on the other side the response. So he'll have wrapped up all the letters into small little scrolls and hand them to FedEx.
You have a backlog of my text through sending. Oh no.
I just saw Joe's message.
What did he say?
Oh, look at me. Sees his pronouns. He's typing a message. Yes. Holy shit.
Take a point of inspiration, Ronax. Xavier,
Sup?
take a short rest and fucking arcade recovery yourself, my guy.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. You know what that gets
Point of
me?
inspiration.
A third level spell slot.
That was a beautiful reconnection with her past. So, if you don't mind me moving on before we finish off tonight's session. This is gonna be loud. Let me decrease it somewhat. That should do.
Aw, Roy, that's sweet.
The cart strolls, and the wheels and the wagon spins. On and on it goes. As you... That's really loud. 1 second. As you follow along the shoreline, the sun high in the sky, having rested up further into the next day, does slow your travel down by a bit. But Sir Fishington informs you to every time I say that name, Sir Ramira Kaldin informs you that to not worry, since we will be arriving at the fishing hamlet of Belran by the evening of today. Yes, I can almost spell it now. The inhabitants of town welcoming me back with open arms, as I am a welcomed member of the community.
That's where that sentence was going.
I hate to say this, but something about that is just kind of fishy to me.
Oh.
No! This episode is something fishy. This episode is titled something fishy.
God!
This episode is titled Something's Fishy.
You know, the best part about that is with a title like that, you gotta, and with our group, you gotta question: is it sexual or is it a pun?
¿Por qué no los dos?
God damn. Okay.
Right. Go to RP jail, alright.
Go to RP jail.
But I like RP.
I think I'd have the name for this episode. It will be called Puns and Perseverance.
Okay.
So, further into the day, the travel goes, and on goes the journey. Surmir Kaldin kind of comes to the back cart as he sits down, facing all of you, and says, "Now that we are back near the fishing hamlet, I wish to inform you of the mission going forward. A good friend of mine, a well-known fisherman by the name of Tiber, has a relatively large-sized fishing boat that he may be of use lending to us. He knows these seas well, and upon reaching the fishing village of Belran, we shall make our way promptly to my tower. I have there stored a number of potions and artifacts that will be able to help us dive into the waters of the Oshados Terrarum. We'll be taking the ship one day out to shore, and then you and I will be diving down into the coral reefs to observe the local marine life of any noticeable changes. You are tasked with protection and information gathering, as there are known to be quite violent sharks in the area, as well as other deep-sea aquatic life that may threaten our security."
Yeah, that's okay. I'll have a word with them.
I would very much appreciate that. Thank you. But if you would not awfully mind, there will be several trips down beneath the waves. To which I believe to your college, looks at you, Xavier, information gathered in that regard would be of most value. Since it appears that beneath the world sea, there exist remains, ruins, chunks of civilizations long lost beneath the seas. Not much is known about them, since many do not have the ability to venture beneath the water waves, but nonetheless,
This guy does. Just saying.
Nonetheless, that should be of some use to your mission and mine. So with that said, we'll be arriving shortly at the village of Belran. I wish that this journey be fruitful for both you and me, and that we find immediately and promptly the cause of all of these changes in the natural environment, and return it to how things used to be. And he puts a map down on the table and says, I've spent the last few days of travel making this. And seems to be a graphed map of the seismic events that had happened in the Ringed Continent over the past few weeks. You see that one seismic event, one earthquake in particular, is centered right around. Let me show you the map.
I'm a copy.
One of these seismic events is centered to the south here. I'll go ahead and draw that for you.
Yeah.
And it seems to have impacted the entire coastline of the Azuran coast and the Weveris River. So you see that another earthquake was localized here. At the neck between Deep Barrel and Scoundrel Bay. He suggests to several more having been localized in the Lost Isles, the Beastlands, and presumably around the Leviathan's Quarry and Wisin Archipelago as well. So mostly localized to the southern areas of the of Prophelia and Shodarian. And with that, you now see a series of houses, fishing hamlets, fishing huts that stand atop wooden platforms built on sand. And all of these homes are very sparsely spaced out from one another. You won't see a home within 15 feet of another house. And you see these lodgings, these huts, this collection of homes atop this platform leads into a small dock that faces out to sea. And you see Sir Mayor Kaldin says, Yes, here it is. We have finally arrived. This is the fishing hamlet of Belran, my hometown, and where we will be conducting our research. I can already hear it. The sounds of shears that are welcoming me back. And you hear silence.
Sir, I don't hear anything.
No, that's strange. There was supposed to be a parade to welcome back my visit to the town.
Does it seem like there's anything off with the town? Do we see anybody here?
Make
Is
an
that
insight check on Sir Fishington.
Oh.
What
Yeah,
if
sister. Your brother.
everyone
You
are
want to say
dead?
that?
Well, I will make this insight check, but I was more asking along the lines of like if I see any other living human beings.
In that case, anybody who wishes to can make a perception check as well.
Okay.
What if everyone is dead in this village right now because there's some kind of big monster attack?
What was? Oh God. Ronax, you figure that this man is probably a huge loser. And he has no friends. And he is gravely mistaken in the fact that people will be out here in the middle of the evening in the middle of the afternoon to welcome him back to the village. Akil, Xavier, Ness, and Amabilis, however, you kind of glance your eyes into the fishing village itself. And you see no people.
I think everyone is dead.
Uh-oh.
No,
I'm
this
gonna
does
get
not
out
seem
of
right
the
at all.
car and start running. I'm gonna start running ahead.
I think
Yeah, Akil?
I think I'm going to fly over to the sky and like look around in the bird eye views of the city if there anything
Okay.
more
I'm gonna
particular.
send Vorax with Xavier.
Okay. Xavier, you and Vorax go into a sprint into the city. Keel immediately takes off into the sky and flies and does an overhead sweep. Ness, you feel a flipper tap on your back and says, "Could you perhaps bring the wagon closer? This does
Yeah.
not seem right at all."
Okay. Alright. Okay. Well, would you be getting a little bit closer to the village? I'm talking to the horses right now.
You see the two horses start walking on the sands. As you approach this village, you are met with deathly silence. The houses are there. All of the wooden carts, signs of life. You see fishes in these sort of large wooden containers with nets still on them, flies circling overhead, beginning to rot, beginning to start the process of rot. There are a total of about 15 houses, 20 if I'm being generous, in this fishing hamlet. You see lanterns
Natural-
unlit atop the front of the houses. A lot of candles completely melted out.
Okay. You said things are starting to rot.
Yes.
Natural decay?
Make a nature check.
Can I assist him on that?
Not my
You're,
best.
you're like not even there.
That's
You ran
true.
ahead.
19.
Oh, I thought this was
Um,
when you. I thought this was ahead.
No, you and Vorax went ahead. Akio is above, circling overhead, and the rest of the party are now catching up to the outskirts of the village. 19. Natural, yeah, mostly natural.
Okay.
Yeah. You
About how
see
many
you
days?
see a few of the fishes that have turned a little slimy.
But
How many days does that feel like?
Close to half a week.
It's been a few days and nights since anyone was here.
Ramir, when you left, did everybody seem all right?
Yes,
Or
they,
was-
they sent me off. They said they would be here to welcome me back.
Is there? Wait, is there like stuff laying around, or does it look like everybody just kind of packed up and left?
That would be so sad. I mean, they left the village because they knew he was returning to it. No. Stuff is there. You see there are like carts that look to be in the middle of going up a ramp, but then it's just kind of left there. You see just nets upon nets upon nets of fishes, on cranes, on laying on the floor. You see empty boats on the docks. And upon closer inspection as well, Xavier, as you rush in with Vorax, you are starting to
Is this a
see.
surprise party.
You see that a lot of the windows in the houses have been broken.
Oh no! I look into one of the broken houses.
Akil, before we get to that, Akil,
Yeah.
you're circling overhead. At where you are seeing that there are beginning to be rain clouds that are starting to form up in the sky. And you look down and sweep the village. There is completely no sign of life at all. However, at this far up, the destruction here is much more imminent. There are just small breaks and pieces of broken wood everywhere. Not any major damage, but it looks to have been somewhat broken into.
Is there any trails about what something came to the village or not, or something went out of the village?
Good question.
Like
Going with that 19, and since you were overhead, you see footprints. Footprints that some of which have crushed the wooden platform that the village stands on. Some of which is deeply planted into the sand. You see these 5-fingered prints with almost that is spread out with almost these what's the word called? Flippers? No. Yeah.
Webbing? Webbed
The
feet?
webbing, yes. Thank you. The vocabulary escaped me for some reason. These tracks of webbed feet.
Lead to where exactly?
These people.
Into the homes and back out towards the sea.
Okay. Okay. This, my brain's not working right now. Ratty voice make me sleep.
Again. Xavier, what's your armor class without wielding Dawn?
Without wielding gun?
Or if you have him ready right there, I would.
Yeah, I have him out, just not blade singing.
Okay, what's your AC?
16.
As you're looking into one of these houses, you feel a sharp sting in your arm, and you take 3 points of piercing damage.
All right.
Since,
See this open.
Yes.
wait. Since Vorax can't be surprised, can he try and deflect that? I want to make you roll again.
Okay, yeah, I'll make that roll a disadvantage. That's a 4. That misses. So, Vorax, who immediately shoots his head upwards and looks into the house, you see this small dark shape almost lunge out at the window, screaming. You see a child with a knife in his hands lunge up and try and stab Xavier through the window, but misses and says, "No, go away, you!" And
Whoa.
you're not. And you see he is
We're good.
clutching onto the dagger, shaking
Yeah, let's put the dagger down. I drop Dawn. We're good.
How do I know you're
Fine.
not? How do I know you're not one of them? How do I know you're not one of those things that took Papa and
No.
Mama?
One of what?
One of those fish people.
Did they change what they look like? Because I don't look like a fish person, do I?
No,
Oh, okay, that's a good start then.
they came every time it rained, and they took people out of their houses and dragged them out into the sea. Mama and Papa told me to hide, so I hid.
All right, that's a good job. Get a kneel and say, let's start by putting the knife down.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure
I'm sorry.
it's okay. It's fine. You know what? It's a good thing you're protecting yourself.
Is this
Yeah.
is this kid human?
Right as you say that, you see, he. I kind of neglected to say this earlier, but the kid now kind of leans up from the windowsill, and you see that he's not human. He is Lokatha.
Lokatha.
Yeah. The same as Sir Fishington.
I'll pick your name. Cannot by the way, guys.
I'll tell you after the session what I thought.
All right. We are going to look for your mama and papa. But would you be okay with meeting my friends?
Yes.
And then we'll all go looking.
You should go. You should go meet with You should go meet with Tiber. He lives down by the shore.
Tiber.
He
Is
has-
he the only one here? You know if anyone else is in the village?
He's the only one who fought them off. There are a couple of children and women left, but not all of us were taken. But they're hiding inside their homes, like I am.
That's good. Okay. We will look. I'm gonna go find my friends and talk to them about this.
See,
Would you like to come with me, so you're not alone?
yes, please, I'll come with you.
All right, I reach my hand out slowly. Let him grab it.
His flippers reach out and touch your hand.
And I'll walk him back.
As you start walking back to the group.
I back to the group as well.
You return to the group, Akil, and plip. There's a drop of dampness on the floor. Plop. Drizzle. Raindrops start to fall
Oh, if it
upon.
starts to rain, I'm gonna pick him up and run faster to the group and say, "Hey, I think there's something going down. We gotta hurry."
Well, what's wrong? What did you find?
Bad fish people might be taking people from the village, putting them in the water. We gotta go.
That's a
I'm gonna
fish
put
person.
The kid in the he called them fish people, not me. Put him in the cart and say, "Nesman, you should hurry if you can, please."
You see, Rumir Khaldin runs up and immediately like takes the kid by the hands and says, "Philia, are you all right? What happened here?" And you see the kid immediately goes in to give Sir Fishington a hug and starts crying and sobbing and says, the violent fishmen in the seas, they came up, and after the earthquake, they came when it rained, and they took people, they dragged them down into the seas.
Wait, it's raining right now. I would like to make a perception check.
Make a perception check.
Yeah, if it's raining, I don't know.
13.
He said that they came when it rained, so this isn't good.
13. You see that as the rain starts pouring, a few more heads now poke up over the windows of their house, and you hear doors go boom, 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 and the people start locking and like barring whatever they can against the wooden doors and windows. As the rain starts to pour down, a little heavier now.
We're rushing, I think, as fast as we can into the village to probably wherever the shoreline is.
Yeah. Where do you want me to put the cart?
I think just like the center of the village, wherever we can just hop out and run.
Dead center. We need some kind of defensive position.
Right.
Up against the house.
I am going to unhitch the horses, and I'm going to use my speech to tell them to. Is there a tree line?
There is.
I'm going to tell them to run into the tree line and wait for us.
I'm just gonna go ahead and place myself forward most of the group if we're watching the shoreline. Just so I'll be first line of defense.
All right. So you're looking down at the beach with sort of this small wooden dock in front of it, and you see that there is a small round cottage situated to near where the docks is, and you see one of the doors slab open, and you see this very dark skin colored human, heavily muscled, no top on. With these like very ragged looking pants tied with a rope. He has a straw hat on that covers the front of his eyes. And he has with him a very large fishing spear. As this man walks out and stands and stares down at the sea. And that's where we'll go ahead and end tonight's session.
Oh my god, another character that I can sing to.
So what for a minute there, what I thought was going to happen was like it was going to be a human kid, and we were going to and he was going to look at Sir Fishington and be like, "That's one of them."
Me too.
That would have been the hugest big brain switcheroo.
Yeah, that's one of the Sir Fishington was one of the evil fishes all along.
Which it would make sense why he just like sat out every fight. Then he was like, "Man, I hope these guys die before we get there."
Now I wanted to have done that twist. Now, holy shit! Who would have suspected him?
I'm gonna use that on my players sometime.
the Locathar wizard who has been traveling with them all this time was actually the evil like fish goblins that were taking people down into the sea. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now. Most of our regular viewers aren't here today. That's a bit strange. That's fine. At least the video will be archived. Alright.
So you have a pictures of the latest character you just introduced us.
Yes, I do. Give me a second.